So if you're anything like me, you love a good story. You may even be wondering, should I start my own YouTube channel? Is it too late? Am I too old? Well, let me share my journey with you. Because I'm here to tell you, it's never too late. Now, fair warning, this isn't an action-packed, high-speed story. It's just me sharing a little bit of my heart with you. But if you stick around to the end and wait to make your decision, maybe, just maybe, you might find a little inspiration to start a journey of your own. Back in 2020, my design business was hurting really bad. People really weren't looking to spend their money on marketing, especially during a lockdown, and they were opting for more DIY options. Luckily, my wife was a teacher, so she had a secure paycheck. I found myself in one of the last church services before lockdown, listening to a song that really caught my attention and kind of hit a string in my heart. The song was WeThrive by Casting Crowns, and I have the lyrics here that caught my attention. Let me read them for you. It says, "We lift your name on high, shine like the sun, make darkness run and hide. We know we were made for so much more than ordinary lives. It's time for us to do more than just survive. We were made to thrive." It really resonated with me because I thought to myself, if I'm having a hard time right now, there are definitely others that are having a hard time as well. Maybe they just weren't expressing themselves. From there, the vision was simple. I wanted to create a faith-inspired clothing brand where like-minded Christians can really form a community around expressing their faith through fashion. When words fell short, it was a way for a community to wear their faith. Now, with that in mind, I started WeThrive Christian Inspiration. I barely got started before I had to put it on the shelf because financially, I wasn't doing so hot. I ended up getting a second job to help subsidize my lower income, and trying to do that while running my own business and spending time with my wife and my 2 kids at that time, it was just too much. Something had to give. Fast forward a few years, and there was a few life changes. I really wasn't doing much design work anymore like I was before, and I didn't have a creative outlet that I really needed. I severely ramped down my design business. I ended up joining a marketing agency with a friend, and I was taking on the role of operations manager now. It was a bit more stable. Different, but very stable. However, in my new role at the agency, I wasn't doing as much design work. That is what I had been doing for over a decade. That's where my passion was. So I was really lacking a creative outlet. I thought it was the perfect time that I can revive WeThrive. I booted up the Instagram account, started creating some new content. I created a website so that I can explain what it was all about. I came up with some new apparel designs so that I can load those up onto the website. Probably the biggest step that I did was I launched our first YouTube channel. And that was pretty exciting. I had fun making the content. I began posting inspirational content. I began posting lyric videos of some of the favorite songs that I've been listening to. Music has always been a passion for me and a sort of therapy over the years, so it really just made sense. It didn't take long for me to realize, though, that people were more drawn to the lyric videos than they were to the other content, the inspirational content that I was trying to put out there. So I ended up making the lyric videos more regularly. I really did have fun making them, got really creative on some of them. A few of them went viral because of being shared by the artists themselves. And as much as I enjoyed the music videos, what I really still wanted to make was those stories, the videos that shared those testimonies and really touched people's hearts. I wanted to share testimonies, and they felt a little out of place now on what seemed to have turned into a music channel. So that's when I decided to create the second channel, Kingdom Chronicles. At first, I thought about making it a faceless channel. I came up with a lot of the content that was gonna not have me in it just because of a lot of insecurities. Now, while I learned a lot of skills from the first channel, I knew that Kingdom Chronicles was going to be a completely different beast. People wouldn't respond to the testimony videos the same way that they do to music videos. It doesn't have the same replay value. When people are in certain moods, they're not going to just pop on a story like they would a song. The vibe is completely different. Plus, no one knows who I am, so they're not going to just tune in to see what I have to say. That's when the intrusive thoughts started. If you're thinking of starting a YouTube channel yourself, then you probably have some of these same thoughts. I was swamped with thoughts like, who would even listen to me? Do I have anything valuable to say? These thoughts were very hard to shake, I'm going to tell you. Who am I to make a Christian YouTube channel? I'm not a pastor, sure, I'm a Christian, but I've never gone to seminary school. I have no liturgical training. What makes me think that I can speak on any religious topics and people would care? I kept wondering if people would think I'm just another wannabe trying to talk about God without any real credentials. In fact, one of the people that I was most nervous about sharing any of this with was my brother-in-law. He's a great guy, I love him, but he's also a pastor. So that on its own was nerve-wracking. What would he think? Would he be offended? That was one of the biggest thoughts that I had running through my head. Luckily, he was not. When I did finally share it with him, he was actually really great to talk to about. Then there was my pride. My experience was as a graphic designer and a photographer. I'm used to being behind the scenes. I'm not used to being in front of the camera. Could I do this? Can I talk in front of the camera and tell people these stories or deliver messages, ask questions without making myself look like a fool? I didn't know if I had that in me. In the end, after doing a lot of research, aka watching a lot of YouTube videos of other content creators, I came to a few conclusions. The first one was that maybe it doesn't matter what everyone else thinks. In my opinion, as long as I have something valuable to say, I'm being rational with it, I'm not offending anyone on purpose, trying to stir controversy. If what I say resonates with a few people who are really in need of hearing, a message of grace, then it's worth it to me. Starting a channel in my 40s means that I get to bring years of my personal life experience. I have a family, I have 3 kids, I've had my own struggles, I've had struggles with work, I've had struggles in life, struggles with faith, which I think give me a different perspective than if I was a content creator in my 20s. There's a depth that only time can bring, and I think I have a lot of that. No, I'm not a pastor or a priest. I haven't gone through any formal training, but that doesn't mean that my perspectives don't matter or that they're not valuable. I mean, have you ever felt like you weren't qualified to do something and then you tried to do it or you had to do it anyways? AKA imposter syndrome. I was definitely feeling that, and I still feel some of that today. But then I realized something. God doesn't give us tasks that are impossible for us to complete. He doesn't give us more than we can handle. If he calls us, he'll equip us. Have you ever had that realization? Here's the thing. Everybody starts somewhere. And I went into this with the mindset that it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a long grind. I'm bringing something to this corner of YouTube that hopefully people will resonate with. Like I said before, I love stories. I'm the guy that is always excited to see the sequel. I want to know what happens after the movie ends. Is there going to be a continuation of the story? I always love hearing people's backstories or hearing about their lives and their situations. What decisions are they making and how did they get there? I love hearing about the thought processes. And I'm a sucker for a story with great character development. And that basically is what Kingdom Chronicles is all about. It's about having a channel where you can get to hear great Christian testimonies, stories of faith, and uplifting moments. The response so far has been very positive and very encouraging. I'm enjoying being a content creator. I'm getting that outlet that I really needed. Don't get me wrong, it is very difficult at times, but it's also very rewarding. There have been tough moments, like really tough. I'm thinking I might even make a video of that time, not too long ago, where YouTube deleted my channel. If you want to know more about that story, let me know in the comments. The thing that I'd like you to remember is that God's timing is perfect, and there is no wrong age to start living out your calling. If you are thinking about starting a YouTube channel and you are over 40, or you feel God nudging you to do something new, just go for it. You may not know how to do it yet, but there's time to learn. There's time to get prepared for what's going to come, and there's a lot of supports all around you if you look in the right places. There's groups online, there's Facebook, there's family, there's friends, where if you ask them for help, they most likely will help. With all that I've learned so far and the people whose hearts that have been touched by the stories that I've been sharing, the comments, I can see what people are putting in the comments. I can see what they're saying online. I really do feel like it's worth it. God has given us all unique talents, and I believe that we should use them. As far as this channel is concerned, I'm just getting started, and I can't wait to see where God takes us. If you want to come on this YouTube journey with me, see where we end up, then you can hit the subscribe button. What I would love for you to do is take that jump, go and start your YouTube channel. And if that's not what you're here for, and you just want to hear some great testimonies, you want to hear some great stories, then I suggest you start with this playlist right here.